Come here, my perfectionist. This one is for you because perfectionism is not a personality trait, it is a survival strategy. These are the people who were the perfect children, the high achievers, the ones who were always praised for their grades and did all of the extracurriculars and had the great SAT scores, the ones who needed to be perfect and receive external validation in order to feel worthy. These become adults with so much fear and anxiety and who are very prone to burnout. The ones who will reread an email and a text 7 times to make sure you have your tone and punctuation correct. The ones who struggle extremely with procrastination because you would rather not start at all than do something imperfectly and being seen as mediocre. You tend to collapse with any real or perceived criticism. You take criticism or even gentle feedback, and your nervous system perceives that as danger, and you'll tend to ruminate on it and loop on it for millennia. You were the good girl or the good boy or the good child at home, and now you don't know how to rest. Oftentimes, these are the people who will be like resting on a couch, and as soon as like a spouse or a parent or somebody comes into the room, they have to like jump up and appear that they are busy. They will have shame around being seen as lazy or as taking time to rest. You have a nervous system that has equated perfectionism with safety. So you have to have 0 mistakes. If there's any mistakes in the things that you do, and you usually deeply struggle with interpersonal conflict. And so you can tend to be very conflict avoidant, which will have deep repercussions on your partnerships and your romantic partnerships and on your relationships in general. You conflate your worth with your performance. Your self-worth is based on how much you can do and how well you can do it. So you can be high achievers, you can get a lot done. But so an example is I worked with a client who was a professional athlete, and as soon as this human had an injury, their self-worth plummeted because they were no longer getting the validation and the accolades for what they were doing in their life. You don't know how to generate an internal sense of self-worth. You need it reflected constantly from your external environment. You learned that your external achievements kept you safe, loved, wanted, validated. You used control to try to keep chaos at bay. But long term, this creates absolute recipe for exhaustion, and these high achieving children become the very adults in my office who are absolutely suffering with burnout, procrastination, and depression. The key is to learn safety from the inside out so that somebody else, something else, a job title, what you're creating in the world isn't holding your sense of validation and your sense of self-worth. You have to create that from the inside out. Only then will your nervous system start to rest and feel safe and to know that it's worthy because of who you are in the world, not because of what you do. And once you retaste that sense of safety internally, then and only then can you start to create again, rest again. A lot of times these people need periods of deep rest, like true deep nervous system rest, and then energy and creativity can authentically flow because it's not being mediated and held external to you. If this is you, your body is speaking. You're not wrong. You're not broken. You